I'm lost in darkness, searching for light. Every step forward feels like a fight. Shadows of doubt creep in my mind, but I refuse to surrender. I must find a way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. The weight of the world crushes me down. Fear and uncertainty all around. But I deep find inner strength to face the trials length by length. A way to rise above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. Through every storm, I'll find my way. Through every night, a brighter day. I'll rise from ashes like a phoenix born. My spirit unbroken, my heart reborn. I've walked through fire and emerged scarred, but wiser, stronger, and unmarred. My existence is a test of will, of trials overcome, of a soul made bold. The weight of the world above the pain, to overcome, to break the chains. My existence is a test of will. I won't be broken, I'll stand still. Day to day, nothing changes. All I want is a moment to think clearly, but thoughts come unrelenting, consuming every waking moment. My mind binds me and I can't escape. I shout for help when no one hears me. One day I feel I'll just disappear. Lost in this chaos, I'm searching for peace.
Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio Raw post-show rewind for December the 2nd. Where has the year gone? 2024. I'm Tyler, the Pro Wrestling Hipster, here with little Molly Holly, and I'm joined tonight by...
How's it going, guys? As always, I'm hanging out here with Tyler and my own Aunt Molly. I am Caesar. I'm always one here hanging out with that gentleman. And I see we have the man behind the camera hanging out here tonight. John.
Hello. I took a risk. I tried to get involved. I really want to be more involved with the front end of the video content as much as I can be. I got a little lazy, but then you hear kids in the background, they're making it possible. But I'll try my best. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good. Been fighting a fever all day. Feel like I was just sick a few weeks ago. So this is
God.
I can't blame the kids this time either. None of them are sick. Usually, I blame one of my delightful little germ factories around here, but
that's
So
usually what it
subtle.
is, though. It might have actually just been them again. They cycled that shit around.
you know what? They could have been asymptomatic. They just bring things in and out of this house, but no, good. Otherwise, good.
I love to hear it.
But yeah, hey guys, it's Monday night. We're here to talk about Raw, but before we can talk about Monday Night Raw, we have to give that ever important shout out to our partner out there on the interwebs. That is comicbookclick.com. comicbookclick.com/dirtsheetradio for all of your pop culture, comic book, professional wrestling, entertainment needs, all conveniently located in one place. Check it out right now. Make it your homepage. Look at it multiple times a day, just like we do. Not because we are legally obligated to do so, but because we love doing it. Because we're here to talk about Raw. And you know what? It wasn't a rerun show tonight. They actually produced what felt like new content.
It did.
I guess we're out of the coast period that we've been in for the last few weeks as we run into, we got Saturday night's main event, the Netflix move coming up, Royal Rumble. It's going to be a crazy few months for WWE. And tonight felt fresh, and I was happy about that. The main event this evening, we had Seth Rollins taking on Sami Zayn. Didn't go quite as long as I would have liked for it to have gone.
Amen to that one.
But they went about 10 minutes here. Seth Rollins picking up the win with a inside cradle after some crisis of conscience there for Sami Zayn, thinking about swinging that chair, assuming that Seth Rollins was the one that injured, or not injured, but attacked Jey Uso backstage. Seth was maintaining, hey, it could have been Punk. It was a big ordeal. What do you guys think of the match itself tonight, the outcome, the implications going forward, and the angle that ran after the match as well?
Honestly, I'm hoping they're done with this whole 15-minute main event kind of thing. It's getting dumber and dumber. Like, it feels like they're just like, okay, here's you guys' like quick run off, finish quick main event, and let's get out of here. And it kind of sucks because these two were doing well. I was actually entertained by it like crazy. And especially with the whole thing with Sami Zayn trying to figure out if he should or shouldn't hit Seth with the chair. I'm glad he didn't, because, that would have been way too easy. And the match, blah, blah, blah. As for the angle afterwards, I was excited for that, especially with the new content, like you said. That was refreshing.
The return of the Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre, wearing the kind of the obligatory black hoodie as he makes his attacking return to Sami Zayn. Do you think the implication here is that Drew attacked Jey Uso?
I think that's
so.
like the biggest one, yeah.
I also I can't agree that the 15-minute main events are a bad thing, because it's the only thing that they can do until they get to Netflix. I don't get, you had to be around. You were around during the 2-hour era, Caesar. You remember.
Yeah.
This is just the way things used to be.
No, but like back then they did it. Now they do with like 3 commercials in the 15-minute time.
It is.
That's the part that.
Yeah. Back in the original 2-hour era, they still had some a little playtime with Overrun, didn't they?
Yeah, we used to go 15 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes.
Yeah,
you never knew if it was going to be 5 or 15. Now they're like, cut that shit.
Yeah,
you're hard out.
2 minutes, 10 o'clock, I guess, for you guys. Get out of here.
It's just like NXT. I mean, at least for NXT, the excuse is it's usually going to local news networks around here.
Yeah.
So like that kind of makes sense. The news doesn't bow to anybody when it comes to stuff like that. But like, unless it's the Super Bowl, the news will preempt for the Super Bowl.
They give this show. I don't know if they give it for you guys, but on my USA network, or I think I'm watching the East Coast USA feed on a pirate feed because I got no choice. They give this show afterwards. I don't know the name of it. It's a Kaylee Kuko show.
Yeah.
And they curse a lot. They curse a lot. It's on the USA network, and they say fuck over and over and over. They say fuck a lot. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I feel like there's something. It's probably playing in the background, honestly.
Yeah, I keep seeing Kelly Coco back
there. There's probably something about that 10 o'clock hour now and that show. I never seen that show before. It might be premiere. That might be new.
I thought it was produced through Peacock.
Is it? Is it Peacock show?
I thought it was a Peacock show. I mean, which means it's theirs. Like it's all one thing, but
they let them say fuck a lot on the USA network, and I was like, oh shit.
I didn't know you could do that on USA. It's like when AMC did that for the first time and I heard it. I'm like, holy shit!
Walking Dead did it too. Yeah,
Walking Dead. Yeah.
I only knew this because Mr. Robot did it once or a few times on the USA Network, and I was like, oh shit! Is it 9 o'clock? It's 9 o'clock.
John, like, weren't we kids when they had that episode of NYPD Blue or something where somebody said shit on like NBC or CBS?
It was in the newspaper. It was like a big deal.
Oh man!
What a time, y'all! What a time!
Look at there. Seth Rollins gonna be saying "fuck" on Netflix. Watch.
Seth fucking Rollins.
That's the
I
running
like-
joke right now.
I thought it was a decent match. Like Caesar said, it's got 15 minutes at best. I feel like it might have been 13, 12. But they did what they did. It is Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. I like Sami Zayn's angry streak. Like he wants to kill Seth Rollins. Whoever did this to Jay, I'll get them.
You don't talk to Jey Uso like that.
Nobody does.
I think a lot of people think that this means Drew McIntyre versus the Blood. I saw a lot of people saying Drew McIntyre is going after the Bloodline. I'm like, I don't know. I think he's just going after the guys on Raw. And I mean, with Drew and the Bloodline is like a never-ending thing anyway. He's never gonna get over the fact that they screwed him.
Nope.
Lauren does confirm it's a Peacock show. It's in its second season. It's called Based on a True Story. I didn't know. I don't even know what it was about, but I do like Kaylee Kugo. I'm a fan of Kaylee Kugo. I think her current work, her Harley Quinn. I love her Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
How you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Back. But yeah, I can like the match. I wish I would have given him more time. I thought the match. I mean, it was like basically getting to see like a little bit of blast from the past of like the golden era of Ring of Honor. Like to this day, I'm still angry that Seth Rollins quit being named Tyler. There's not a lot of Tylers in wrestling. Okay, it's like him and Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
I miss Tyler Breeze.
I do too. Not just because his name was Tyler, but
The Fashion Police. That was great.
He was great. But what were you saying, Tyler?
Oh, it was nice to get to see that level of athleticism, and like you don't really see them work each other that often. It's been a while, and we'll talk about the promo too, because I think the promo at the top of the show ties pretty heavily into everything and the emotion of the match. But I dug it. I thought it was. Hey,
I lost you there for a second.
Yeah, what did you say?
What happened? Did I drop out?
John censored you.
You got censored. You said a little something. You said a little something spicy. We had to get you with the 7-second delay.
I really didn't. I just said McIntyre's back, and I don't think it's a bad thing. But guys, anything else on the main event tonight, or shall we hop around to the start of the program?
Sid has a great point, though. It's a great point.
But the question is, long hair or short hair, Kaylee?
She could be bald, brother.
So when she cut her hair on Big Bang, I actually changed the hair on my Big Bang Lego set.
That's
because
incredible.
I had to keep it accurate, So yeah,
that's incredible. Very prettily. But anything for the main event? Yeah, I just think Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso seems like what's gonna happen next. Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso type thing. I don't see Roman Reigns getting involved, but who knows? That would be pretty big headed into what's coming up, the Rumble. Although I think he's gonna be busy. He's got the Cody Rock thing coming.
Yeah, so I think that Drew is probably going to be concentrated on Raw for a while, I imagine. But hey, tonight, Raw came to us live from Everett, Washington, at the Angel of the Winds Arena. That has to be one of the coolest, right? The Angel of the Winds. Like, that sounds like a Magic the Gathering card. Like, that's badass.
Or an album name for like a metal band.
It's a Rush album. Angel of the Winds is a Rush album. You're Canadian and you should know that.
Wouldn't that be Angel of the Night?
It's really not an album, but it could be.
I was going to say, I have Rush. I have like 6 Rush DVDs and Blu-rays. Okay,
I'm not shocked.
And 1 box set. Come at me.
Don't they just give them to you at birth?
No, graduation.
Part of the package.
Graduation.
That's a much better deal. Here in the States, they give you a Ted Nugent album. It's not as good.
Wait, CD or vinyl?
It's actually an 8-track.
Gross.
Great.
Oh damn! But
Ooh,
so Everett, Washington, Angel of the Winds Arena. The show opened, of course, as it does, with Wade and Joey Tess introducing the show, and they showed a quick recap of the events of Survivor Series. Which, if you didn't watch Survivor Series, you should, and if you don't want to, just go listen to the Dirt Sheet Radio recap. But after the quick recap of the events on Survivor Series, we had walking into the arena CM Punk, and he walked up to Jey Uso. They shook hands, shook hands with Sami Zayn, and he made his way out to the arena to cut a triumphant promo of his victory at Survivor Series. He was making it clear that he had a couple favors in the bank. I guess he got more than one favor for doing this for Paul Heyman. But before he could really get to that, he was interrupted by Seth Rollins. And this was a back and forth that I think a lot of folks have been wanting to see. I think it's been brewing really since Punk's return last year. Who is his Taylor?
I almost want to say Don Cherry's Taylor.
That's incredible. Little bedazzled thing. Not bedazzled,
I'm shocked
but like
wearing
that.
shades.
I feel like if you touch it, if you swipe it up, it'll turn a different color.
Can we tweet him that? Can we tweet him that? I'll bet you it does.
He's gonna come out in something like that, like getting closer to the Christmas, like where it's like red and green.
First half of the show is like that color. He'll swipe it like John said, it'll turn black, like purple or something. Perfect.
Oh my God.
2 suits for 1.
I don't know. He has to be paying for these out of pocket, but we know the promo was pretty solid back and forth here. Got a little heated between them. I liked that CM Punk blamed Seth Rollins for Roman Reigns being the menace that he was. You started it. You hit him in the back 10 years ago. Holy shit! I feel old that betrayal was 10 years ago.
I think Sami Zayn is the one that told him that.
Like 10 years ago.
Right?
10 years.
10.
I think it was Sammy that told him that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
10 years though.
That did make me feel a little
ancient.
Little old. It also made me think it really made me think at like how small some of the runs were, some of the more legendary runs were back in the day. Like talking about 10 years ago, Steve Austin, I don't think once in his career would be able to have a story that went back 10 years at the height of his career. It was 5 years he had on top.
Think about The Rock on his original run. You're looking at like 2.5.
Crazy.
Yeah.
10 years.
Like it is like it's the thing. We'll talk about New Day a little bit later here tonight, but also their 10-year anniversary. That's the one that really kind of got me. Like I can't believe that they've been teaming for a decade. It doesn't feel like that long ago when you saw the original choir promos with Big E just sweating his ass off with a handkerchief.
We'll talk about it in a little bit. I don't want to get too into it, but I did like this whole opening segment, the way they it was kind of 2 segments weaved into one here. We said Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Like they said it would be a commercial free first 30 minutes, and then they were like, and CM Punk is gonna open. But I didn't put it together that the whole 30 minutes would just go to CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, it was pretty. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole part 1, part 2 thing. The Sami Zayn part is where it really ramped up for me, but that might be because of my CM Punk bias. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it was. Sorry, I lost my place in my computer notes there, guys. Like I said, been fighting a fever all day. The brain ain't. I had to Google what based meant like 5 months ago because I'm old and hadn't heard it for some reason.
Jeez, 5 months.
Damn.
Hey, there was something else I had to look up, but it's escaping me now. Yeah, I'm old, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Get the ramp ready, John.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's awesome.
But sorry. So we excuse me. It hits a boiling point. Punk and Rollins break into a brawl. Punk did some weird shadow box thing before he and Rollins had to pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one.
It looked awkward. Once they made contact, it looked pretty real. I'll give him that. But that little stutter punch thing just didn't it didn't flow too well.
Maybe he's trolling Seth.
No, you see, that's how it's really done. he was showing off his skills. You see his MMA skills, those famous
Pure
CM
skills.
Punk
Hey,
MMA skills.
ask Jack Perry about those skills.
Yeah.
He knows all of it.
Jack
Oh.
Perry. Jack Perry. He
Ooh.
couldn't knock Jack Perry out. Never forget. Scratched him.
Spills his diet soda.
Oh man, but yeah, they brawl. They get
Ooh.
pulled apart here, and this is I kind of skipped ahead. This is when Sammy, kind of gets involved here, helps get everything split up, and then they go back and forth here. Lots of barbs. They're kind of both blaming one another for Roman getting to the heights that he got to. Seth is angry because Sammy teamed with Punk. Sammy points out he didn't want to team with Punk. He wanted to team with Seth. Seth is so damn stubborn. He said no multiple times. Like, this is kind of your doing. And he's like, well, yeah, I didn't want to team with you because why? Because you were trying to help Roman Reigns. So it's an interesting dynamic here. And they've really kept that hatred flowing. A lot of times in wrestling, people would have made up by now. It's been a decade, as they've pointed out. But absolutely no love lost between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, and that's good. That's great that they've been able to keep that consistent. But it's quite the dynamic they've got going here, and this led to a setup to the main event here. But guys, how are you feeling about this? Do you think this is starting to push Seth into a heelish direction, or are we just rolling with a bunch of tweeners here?
It does feel like we're headed towards heel Rollins, but at this point, I can't call him a heel because he's still, he's losing it, but he's still at least justified. You can see where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't seem like a maniac. It's like, some people might still agree with him. Like, I wouldn't be happy with you guys either. Fuck all you guys. What the hell? Teaming, happy with Roman and posing and shit and shaking hands. Get the fuck out of my face with all this garbage. He never apologized to any of you. He's still manipulating all of you. He's still the same asshole he always was, and you want to help him get back to where he was. Good fucking job. He broke his legs to get Roman Reigns away from the WWE Championship. Okay. And they're all trying to give it back to him. So I don't he's still not the heel yet, but it's kind of the Drew McIntyre thing where eventually he's gonna start doing unjustifiable things, and you're like, well, now he killed a lady, so he should stop.
It'll be good to see, Punk kind of embroiled in a little bit more of a understandable and believable feud for him once this really gets rolling. It's better than fighting over a bracelet.
Mm-hmm. That's also true. I like that they started talking about WrestleMania after Survivor Series. That's a thing WWE used to do, that they kind of stopped. They really got attached to the road to WrestleMania, so they wouldn't even talk about it until the Royal Rumble came. But now you're seeing WrestleMania implications on Survivor Series, and now it's like Punk is talking about WrestleMania in December. So all we're missing is the WrestleMania logo on the back of the shirts that come out during the fall. And we're back.
And we are fully back after that. But yeah, you were saying I'd forgotten that the first half hour was going to be commercial free, and I was actually confused about 28 minutes into that. But yeah, they gave them the whole promo time. But normally I'd find that a little boring. That kind of harkens back to the the era of the 20-minute opening promo and just drolling on and on. No offense, Hunter. But this worked. It had good flow. It had action mixed into it, and it was a solid way to open the show. It has set up a lot, and like I said, they've got a lot of shows and content coming up for the next few months. Really excited for the return of Saturday night's main event too.
Yeah, Dean says he's also excited for the return of Saturday night's main event. Thank you for joining us. He says he's an 80s kid. If you were an 80s kid growing up, it was special. And Jesse Ventura coming back to the WWE, ending a decades-long feud with the company. When was the last time he was on WWE TV? Was it not WrestleMania 20 or after that?
I thought he guest hosted Raw once.
Okay, that might be the last time.
That was the last time. That was probably 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I always have to add the COVID years to my timelines. I was like, that was like 7 years ago. It's like, no. It's add those COVID years, and they But yeah, it's gonna be great to see Jesse back. One of the few people that beat them in court. Not a lot of guys can say they did that. And if they don't work something with Karrion Kross and Jesse Ventura,
oh my God, I don't think they know. I don't think they know about the. I don't think they know.
someone has to tell Jesse.
It's up to Karrion Kross. Is he going to be a coward? He's going to show what he's made of? Tell Hunter. Tell Hunter. Hunter, please, can I pull you to the side? Really serious. I just want to talk to you. He's like, what do you want to talk about? And he's just like, I want to show you my Jesse Ventura impression. What? Please.
Oh man, yeah, it probably wouldn't go. And that's how he gets fired. That's actually how he gets fired. All the other shit, he's made it through that. Doesn't bump in his matches, but the Ventura impression is what gets him out. Oh Jesus, good lord. But yeah, anything else on tonight's opening segment, fellas?
No. I liked it. That's about it. Good job, guys.
Oh man. But coming back from the first commercial break tonight, we had our Judgment Day segment backstage in the very was that after or before?
No, that's the wrong Judgment Day segment. And I fucking boo.
I am mildly feverish. You can't fuck with me like that.
I don't think I got a screenshot of the right one either.
But they were in their disheveled clubhouse that Caesar hates because they don't even have a ceiling anymore. And
hey,
Finn was kind of defending himself here for getting involved in the main event, or not main event, but in the world title match at Survivor Series. Liv Morgan not too happy about it. You're saying like, hey, I thought you said we're done with this. And this is, again, kind of showing the power struggle, or maybe red herring of a power struggle. Because, John, I'm with you. I still think they're going to eventually reveal that Finn and Liv have been in this the whole time. Well, something like that. Something thereabouts.
Okay.
Stop it!
You know what I mean. No, I do think that's the direction. I still don't see any evidence against it, but I do wonder, like, when you sometimes you can just ask another question, like, logically. We're talking in kayfabe. I wish Liv would be like, when does this end for you? Like, how do you want to kill him? Like, do you want Damian Priest dead? Like, I don't understand what's your end goal here. What are we doing? What are you doing?
Like, you already stopped him from getting the world title back, like,
twice.
He got a world title shot, I guess, from killing Damian Priest, which is really, really, you shouldn't be setting that precedent. Like,
he would be rewarded for assault. Like, that's
just murder.
Damian Priest. Can I get a title shot? Adam Pearce is like, yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely. That's why nobody listens to you.
And that's going to be that's a Saturday night's main event, right?
Yes, it is Saturday night's
2 weeks
event.
away.
It's 2 hours, right? 2 hours?
No, but like 2 weeks away, isn't it?
Yeah. No. Yep.
It's
November, December 14th.
And you get that one person. What day is it on?
I don't know.
Thursday.
Tuesday.
So Tuesday night in Texas.
Gunther is not losing that title to anyone but Cena, Max says. But the Finn match will be good. I
really
agree.
think he's going to lose to Cena.
Wait,
you agree that he's losing it to Cena, or you agree that the Finn match should be good?
I agree that the Finn match should be good, and I want him to lose the title to John Cena. I think that should be the only person who makes sense right now at WrestleMania. It gives Gunther the biggest fucking moment of his career, and John Cena gets...
And to let Cena beat the Ric Flair record?
He gets to 17, and he doesn't have to pin the top. Like, he doesn't have to pin Cody. Like, I think it's weird to put John Cena on the top of the top again. But I mean, I guess I get it. But also, like, if you don't have to, then no. Like, give him the other world title, and then he can say 17, and it gives Gunther a big moment. It gives Gunther a big match. Gunther and Cena. Well, I don't know what Cena can do now, but Gunther and Cena would be, I think, a fun match at WrestleMania. I would like that to be the direction. Sometimes I still wonder. I've heard whispers of other John Cena matches at WrestleMania. I'm like, oh no.
But I mean, this is going to be his last one, right? Like,
It is his final WrestleMania. I think that's the best place to win the world title because it's his final WrestleMania, but it's not his final match.
no,
right?
he's got the year, he's got the calendar.
The whole
year.
fucking year is still ahead of him, so it's not like it's time to go out yet. It's the perfect place to win the world title. John Cena wins the world title at WrestleMania and justifies the fucking $10,000 million price tag for sitting in the front seat. You get to see John Cena win the world title one last time. That's worth the money, I think.
Big deal. Big deal.
Oh yeah, be a huge moment. Like, and honestly, I don't know how there would be a contingent of fans that would be royally upset by that. Let's be fair. Like,
I want to say,
God,
fuck
we
you
lived
guys.
through Super Cena. We lived through the Super Cena era, but like, I'm not mad about it. Like, I got over my mild, like, I'm too cool for school John Cena hate a real long time ago. Like,
I think everybody should be by now.
They
Like,
should
it's
be,
been
but
so
they're not.
many years. I'm so over. Like, he's done enough. He's put enough people over. He's came in and done so many things. Even after the Super Cena era, the United States Championship run. Get the
that
fuck
open
out of here.
challenge run, that open challenge run was awesome.
It was it's enough, I think. And besides, we've still got many months to go to WrestleMania. I think we still got time to build a lot of Gunther related greatness until then. It's not like it's gonna end tomorrow. Like, if he pinned Gunther tomorrow, it'd be too short. But you're talking April. Gunther holds the world title till April.
SummerSlam to Mania is a pretty, decent first world title run.
I'm saying that's a big ass.
Yeah.
That's a reverse of what it usually is. Usually is WrestleMania to SummerSlam.
Right. I mean, especially if you're like considering that it seems like they're kind of leaning a little bit away from the super long title reigns now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to have a Gunther or a Roman Reigns-esque reign for a very long time. But yeah, we'll see where they go with it. I like that though. You sold me on it. I like the idea of Cena getting that belt to Mania.
It would be fun, I think. It's also the best case scenario for like a John Cena
any
work rate.
chance he brings back a variation of the spinner belt if that happens.
Could you imagine? That would be incredible, actually.
The spinning W.
People would actually hate it. People would hate everything about it.
I don't know. They might be ready for it and accept it again. Maybe it's time.
How do you get a big gold spinner belt? I don't know. He'll figure it out.
Just the black logo spinning. That's it.
He'll figure it out. They've got R&D people on this. It's not John Cena's job to worry about the mechanics of it.
He's got to release one last rap album.
That's on my iPod. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm like, Mr. Make-A-Wish has a lyric where he, quote, fucks like a fiend with 3 dicks.
I love that album when I was a kid. I bought it just so I can hear John Cena curse. I remember that was a big thing for me. I was like, oh, he's going to curse on here. But
all over that thing. Like,
there's like some good music. There's some good music on there. Right Now is like one of my favorite John Cena songs of the 3 that I like. The 3 that I would put on rotation on purpose. The other ones are like novelty.
It's a relatively solid album. It really is. It's no disrespect to Macho Man, but it's a much better rap album than Macho Man's.
Ooh.
It went platinum too.
Wait, Cena's or Macho's?
John Cena's rap album went platinum. Yes,
I mean, I did enjoy the aspect of Macho Man's album where he's just basically like calling Hulk Hogan like an asshole, not those words. Because Mach didn't want to curse. Mach doesn't have to cuss to sell records.
Oh, yeah. Well, he didn't want to curse, but he beat. No, oh, you know what? I'm not going to get into it.
We'll hop back into Monday Night Raw here, y'all. We had some tag team action. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez taking on Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Interestingly enough, though, it said Liv Morgan with Raquel Rodriguez as she was making her entrance, not as a tag team. Thought that was a nice little flub from the graphic design team there. Way to go, guys. Not super long bout here. Rodriguez and Morgan pick up the win in 5 minutes. Rodriguez getting the pin. What you guys think of this one? Opening tag action.
I don't know that I liked Damage Control losing, even though it was Kyrie that got pinned. Like I was like, this is weird. I feel like Raquel is literally there, but for that. But I guess they want to keep her strong because she's probably. Oh God, they're gonna do the same goddamn Diesel Batista thing now.
Yes,
Yeah,
probably.
I guess.
Probably.
That's what it always is. But I'm sure they want to keep her strong for that. She's been overlapped by Rhea and Bianca so hard that I think they're gonna make an effort to try to get her to that level really hard. I feel like.
Well, and she was on her way there before I always forget what medical condition she has before her
something skin related.
Yeah, I remember that.
before her last
was
flare up
brutal.
of that. Like she was on that upward trajectory, you know, like. And it was kind of, you know, there's never a good time to have any sort of medical issue or injury in wrestling, but it was really awful timing for her. So, you know, I think they definitely have some rebuilding to do. And you're right, they're probably going to have to try to do that relatively quickly.
Yep.
Because there's only so many more banana peels that Liv Morgan's opponents can slip on for her to keep winning these matches.
I'm really sick of the Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan dynamic. It doesn't.
Yeah. The bloom is off that rose. It really, really is.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's almost, it feels kind of like the last few seasons of like American Horror Story, where like, you know, by episode 8, it's still really great, but there's 12 episodes. And then the last 3 episodes, it's like you really ran out of story to tell and you're just stretching it out now. That's kind of where we are with this.
That happened to Luke Cage. It's a really good Marvel show, Luke Cage, and they had a really good villain. And then they ended the villain's arc with like 3 episodes left in the series and introduced a whole new villain. And everyone was like, wait, what the fuck?
This isn't how you do this.
This is not how TV works. And yeah, that's kind of what's happening here. We got peak, I don't know, what would you say? Maybe SummerSlam, Bad Blood. Not say by Bad Blood. People were like, this should end now.
Yeah.
And then it didn't. And now we're in December, and they're still going, And I mean, at this rate, it looks like they're gonna fucking fight at WrestleMania. Like, what is Rhea Ripley doing? What other thing is she involved? I'm so excited to see her do anything else, even like because at this point,
also are Damage Control, are they heels still or not?
No,
I think they're faces, honestly.
I think they're faces because they got beat up by the Pure Fusion Collective.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, and then they got saved by Rhea here after the match when Io was getting beat up. Like, and so that's kind of like, when did that turn actually happen? Was it when they just kind of had to like push Io into that match?
I think it happened when they got beat up by the Pure Fusion Collective. They just put them on the other chart. And then they just kept going as if they're baby faces.
Fair enough.
You slotted over here now.
All right, Hunter. That's how we're doing it.
I think the biggest thing, the biggest disappointing thing, gosh, I stroked on camera. This is my end.
It's okay. My brain fell out earlier. Like it's perfectly fine. Things happen.
The biggest disappointment for me with this whole feud going too long is that Rhea Ripley is stuck having bad matches with. I'm sorry, they're bad singles matches with Liv Morgan, and I want to see her have good matches. Okay, like I know that she can. That's for me because I like wrestling. I'm like, okay, I was willing to give it a shot. I was entertaining it for so long. I remember I was even saying it like, I know this wrestling isn't for me, but I see how over it is, and everyone is enjoying it. But now it's way past its expiration date, and I'm ready to move on. She's going to win the Royal Rumble. I don't give a fuck. Whatever she's going to do, just do it.
Just get it done. Oh, goodness. But after that segment, we went to the backstage area where we had Kathy Kelly interviewing Gunther. And this is where he's very quickly interrupted by Finn Balor and Dirty Dom. And this was when Finn was demanding his title match. Because, you know, he stomped the man for him more than once. And he wasn't really feeling giving him. And I loved the sideways glance that Gunther gave Dom here. Because I just expected him to kill Dom right there. Like, I really thought it was going to be like that, like grab it Dom by the throat, just like shove him off and then keep talking to Finn. But yeah, Gunther pointing out that Dom actually does hold a pinfall victory over Damian Priest, unlike Finn. What you think of this? And again, we now know that the match is going to happen between Gunther and Finn here, but again, weird setup for a world title match. I attacked a man for you. He's in a sling. Give me a title match.
I like that. I like what Gunther said about it. The thing that he's trying to get a damn clean victory because the Randy Orton thing fucked his head up, and you came and you fucked it up again. So I'll do whatever it is you want to do as long as I can get my hands on you for what you did. If you want a title shot, then you can have it, but I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Which is interesting because, we talked, I guess, a minute ago, asking if someone was a tweener. Gunther really is there at this point because, he's kind of playing that face side of this right now. You've goaded me into this. Okay, I'll put my title on the line just so I can get my hands on you. That's a babyface move.
It's an interesting move. I'm not sure if I like it. I was like, this is a strange time to be doing this with Gunther, especially when people are kind of tepid on him. Maybe they're really trying to get people to cheer him. Maybe we're headed towards a Gunther babyface thing. I don't know what the fuck. Hopefully we're not, because I really want that John Cena match.
Right? I agree with you. They need to keep him more heely than this. I do I understand the value sometimes of having someone kind of walk back and forth, but overall, I feel like being truly in the middle, it hurts the heels that you're facing. It hurts the faces you're facing. It doesn't really help get anybody any higher. And you're right. If they're going to push you into a feud with Cena, which I really want to see now, they got to keep him more heely than this. But
he's also cooler. He was just cooler. He had a cooler factor when he was like a complete dickhead. But I guess they told the story of him becoming too confident, too cocky when he was champion last time. So logically, he's overcompensating and he's overly cautious this time. And it's good storytelling. I can't fault it.
It is. It's given him a much more faceted character, which was one of the criticisms I read months ago on him. People were like, oh, he's a his character is very one dimensional. It's like he's not now. He has a lot of facets. He's very they've you run a risk on this, but they've kind of humanized him over the past couple of months, and that's great because it makes him a little more relatable. But it does hurt that heel aura that he had, that really badass, I'm just an absolute ass aura. And I like that Gunther. I like him basically being like, my parents loved me more than yours did you because they put me into these positions. It's great. That elitist attitude, it fits him. He's very good at pulling that character off. I'd like to see him kind of lean back that way. I don't know if I want to feel things in common with Gunther. I don't really know that I can. He's a 6'2", jacked dude, and I'm 5'8", and I'm not going to say my weight, but
I get it. I get exactly what you're saying. It's you, no matter how much you try, it's never going to be. I
don't want to relate to it. I can't. I can't. And I don't think they should try to make me relate to Gunther, but they're trying a little bit. But yeah. All right, so moving from there towards the ring, we had the Women's Intercontinental Title Tournament match. The first one on Raw. They didn't do one last week on Raw, right? They just announced.
No, this is the first. This is the first one. Yeah.
All right. So we had Dakota Kai of Damage Control, which I forgot she had her own entrance music until tonight.
That makes three of us.
Versus Shayna Baszler versus Katana Chance. This was actually pretty darn good. The bell rang about 40 minutes into the hour. The match itself went just around 8 minutes. Dakota Kai picking up the win. I was actually surprised by that. I thought that it was going to be Shayna Baszler.
Katana Chance, the only person I've ever seen to make Dakota Kai look large. I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. That is a very tiny person.
Yeah, she's small, man. She is small. Well, and here's the thing, she and Kaden Carter are about the same height. They're both very short, but Kaden is a lot thicker.
Nice.
I meant more muscle. Calm down.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Easy, crazy. Uh,
Muscle.
but no, yeah, Katana Chance is very, very small. But yeah, Dakota Kai though, 450 splash in this match. I didn't see that coming.
That was pretty wicked.
That was my face when she made that move. Yeah, but like I said, just around 8 minutes, so she advances, and I'm still going to say it as I said last week. My favorite in the tournament is Lyra Valkyria. Because what did you think of this match? Kai picking up the win here, moving forward in the tournament. How you feeling about this so far?
Caesar?
I am so glad they didn't do what I thought they were going to do, because at one point Katana was getting a lot of steam going. I was like, if they pull the trigger and let her win, I wouldn't know what to say. So I'm very glad it was Dakota Kai that got the W. But yeah, good job to all three of these ladies. Good match, especially for the first round of the tournament.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match, actually. Dakota Kai looked great. She's been injured. It's like they make jokes about it, but she has spent a lot of time injured, and it's now or never, So even if she doesn't win the tournament, at least she looks good in some of these spots. And like you said, Lyra Valkyria would be a good. I'm looking at this pool of contenders, and I'm trying to just think of who of all these women would benefit the most from that win.
Lyra.
And it's gonna be Lyra. There's almost nobody else.
I know
Raquel, but no, they do. They need really hammering in that Shawn Michaels diesel thing. I guess nobody in the Alba Fire, Kairi Sane, Natalia triple threat.
Believe it or not, I saw a post floating around that someone's like, they should get Natalia to the win because she's been so hardworking with the company. I was like, oh yeah,
Natalia should win a couple more times on TV for the next few months.
Yeah, that too.
Shouldn't even be in this tournament, but okay.
But I agree. I would be surprised if anyone other than Lyra won it. It just makes the most sense. She really kind of needs it. It would really help to further separate her from the association she had with Carter and Chance for so long. To use the bird metaphor, they were, I feel, an albatross for Lyra.
Wow.
I'd love to see her get that belt. But also, I'm a little biased. That's the NXT coverage in me coming out that I want Lyra to do well. I was so excited when they were on the main roster, and they were doing really well with her there for about the first month and a half, and then it just tanked out. So
I told you, as soon as they started teaming her with fucking Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, I was like, this is it. She's cooked. It's over. Done.
Yeah, real shame. Real shame. But I think they're going to correct course here. So I'm hoping so. Alrighty. Goodness gracious. So is it time for the new day?
Oh no. It is.
All right, guys.
They're walking out. They're headed out. I fucking called it, man. I looked at Kofi. When I saw Kofi with this chain on, and then I remembered, like, well, this is the chain. This is the same symbol from fucking when Vegeta turned heel in Dragon Ball Z. And then I thought last week Xavier was wearing the heel outfit. Yeah. And then I was like, God, they're both gonna go heel. And then I never imagined ever that they were gonna involve Big E the way they did. Big E Langston.
This promo. So guys, they bring him out. Adam Pearce is in the ring. Xavier Woods and Kofi come out, and they have still kind of their uneasiness there, a little squabble, and eventually they bring out Big E. I didn't recognize this song for him. This wasn't like 3 ain't enough, I need 5. It wasn't the New Day theme.
This is the one that he was using while he was WWE champion.
Okay.
It's Wale. I think Wale actually performed Big E down the aisle at WrestleMania with this, and Big E was like crying. It was like a big moment for him. That's why I remember it, because I remember Big E crying walking down the ramp. But it should be. I guess it should be noted that Xavier and Kofi they seemed like they were gonna break up before Big E walked out there. In a way, He did keep them together.
Yeah, he was out there and he was talking really about how much it hurt his heart and his soul that he's watched them fight and argue and just erode their partnership over these past couple months. And and he said until the day comes that he's able to be cleared and compete in the ring, he wants to be the manager of them and work towards reuniting them and getting them back on the same page and back into the heights that the New Day once had. And holy hell, did Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston let him have it here. The synopsis here is, so what? You broke your fucking neck. You abandoned us, Big E. You left us high and dry. And then they just went through a laundry list of wrestlers who broke their necks and came back. This was hard to watch. This was hard to listen to.
So what? You broke your neck is a crazy line, man. Like, that's wild. I love that. That needs to be a t-shirt. Austin, his name. It should say Austin 316 because his name is Austin in real life. And it just works. Austin 316 says, so what? You broke your neck. Fucking, I would buy the shit out of that. That's incredible. Great line, great moment. But that just right there, like if they had said nothing else, so what? You broke your neck was like, what? Holy shit. Good moment, man. Great moment.
It was. I didn't. We talked about the various outcomes of where this was going to go. If Kofi was going to be heel, if Xavier was going to be heel, if someone would get physical and attack Big E, which that didn't happen here at all. They only attacked him emotionally, as it would be. I don't know that both of them turning heel and seemingly reuniting on the same page through their now hatred of Big E. I didn't see that coming here. I really, really didn't.
That was a great twist, and I wonder, and I kind of the only bad thing, and not a bad thing, more like a sad thing, is that it kind of feels like this was like we did this because we can't have Big E right now. Like this was the idea that we thought of when we realized we can't have Big E back. Our boy Big E Langston. He's not ready, and they even kind of alluded to, like, Xavier was like, let's not kid ourselves, stop lying to the people, you're never coming back. And I was like, I hope he's just being a bad guy. Like, I hope he's just being a heel. But yeah, if it was that thing earlier, Big E did a Players Tribune article about how he was at peace if he can't wrestle anymore, and if he didn't come back now, if he doesn't come back as part of this storyline, then I think it might be time to start accepting that it might not be happening, which is really sad.
It is, and we've talked about how New Day really hasn't felt like New Day since Big E's been gone. It's at best a truncated version of the act without him there. He really wasn't. I mean, it took all three of them to make that work. So I think in that regard, then going a heel route with them and wanting to keep them together as a team, if you want to keep them together as a team, this is how you do it. Are they even still going to be called New Day going forward?
I bet they aren't. I bet they come up with something else next week. The
Old Day?
They could be. I was going to say the Old Day. I guess they could keep calling themselves the New Day, but it doesn't feel right? It's supposed to be a new thing. Big E's gone. We're moving.
The power of positivity is gone.
Yeah.
The power of negativity.
I hope that's what they do. I hope there's promos there where they're like, "We got to be negative," and like, no more clapping. I don't know. It's gonna be like they're gonna put the act on its head. It really is gonna be like just an inverse, mirror, mirror, like everyone's got goatees now because they're evil kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Was this Community?
Caesar Community took that from Star Trek, the original series.
Respect, Caesar. Respect. I mean, it was the best New Day segment in a long time, like hands down. It's the most interested I've been in them in a long time. So, but the only thing that bothered me was like, oh, but we're not getting a singles run on any of them. So I was like, okay, oh, but they'll be tag champions soon. I bet. It makes sense this week. Probably by WrestleMania, they'll get a new WrestleMania moment, a different one. Right, that'll be cool. I'm down.
Yeah. And hey, they'll actually have belts that look nice.
Right?
Right? They had the pennies in the background.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm still not super hype on the tag belts as they are, but I like them better than the pennies. I'll say that. That was one of the most disappointing title revamps of all time. I still think they changed the belts to be that ugly just to piss off Bret Hart when he was handing them to the New Hart Foundation.
They were nickels first or second? They were pennies first and then nickels.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
They went up in value at least, but
And then they had the multicolored belts too.
Good Lord.
They never wore those on TV. And they didn't they didn't even put it in the background of this thing. I didn't see it.
It's a shame. They missed it. They missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like Johnny said, great segment overall. Probably the best New Day segment in a very long time. But from that segment to Karrion Kross,
Whoa.
we had our Karrion Kross segment where he's talking about all the awful things he's done to people during his career and how he apologizes for none of it. But yeah, this just kind of furthering the feud between the Final Testament and the Wyatt Six. TikTok, he says, and not like TikTok, the app.
The song?
Actually like the clock. No, or the song.
The song's good though.
Yeah. It is a classic. A classic. But after that segment, we went into our next match on the card. We had the world champion Gunther taking on the Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio.
By himself, too.
All by his lonesome. I think no shocker here. Gunther picks up the win in just around 7 minutes. Caesar, what do you think of this match, man?
I was surprised more so that Dom told his boys to stay in the back rather than go into the ring.
Hey, he's brave, man. Dominic Mysterio has nothing but bravery running through his name.
He knows he's about to die, so he's like, well, might as well go by myself. So, kudos to him for that. And the match did what it did. It served the time. Yeah, like you said, not surprising, Gunther won. What did you say it was? 8 minutes? 10 minutes?
7.
Yeah, 7. So, it was just a TV match. It did its purpose. Filled the card. So, that's all I got. Wasn't bad either, so.
No. I mean, I don't really feel like you get bad work out of Dom. I mean, or Gunther, obviously. But I feel like Dom's one of the more trusted people on the roster at this point.
The last time I heard the words trusted and worker from a big person was Baron Corbin. I remember that one.
Didn't Baron Corbin just win a judo tournament or something a couple
I
weekends
don't
ago?
freaking know. I just remember that I was watching videos and they were saying about safe workers and he was one of them.
Yeah,
So-
I regret a lot of the shit I gave Baron Corbin when he was in the company. Now that he's gone, and
I enjoyed his actual heel stuff when he went with the other characters. Holy shit!
oh
That
man,
was terrible.
His last tag run on NXT with him and Braun Breaker as the tag champions, just fantastic.
What did
It
the
was such a
War
fun
Dogs
run.
or something?
Yeah, they argued back and forth on the team name. It was a lot of fun, and then he got released not there long after. But
Still
yeah, it was. But after the match, Gunther was celebrating, and he got attacked by Finn Balor.
I hated that so much.
Hey, at least he did it after the match.
Yeah, that's the more impressive part, actually.
But we went from there to the backstage area where we had Pete Dunne being interviewed. And there was a clatter as he was talking about his match with R-Truth that was coming up. The camera went back there, and we found Jey Uso had been attacked and laid out on
By
the
who?
ground. By who? We can make our assumptions based off of the end of the program.
We just gotta wait till next week
Hey, they got to have that hook, right?
and wait to talk about it with us.
Right. But after there, we went to our next match. We had Pete Dunne taking on R-Truth. The fans were chanting Butch through most of this. Solid match, short match, very, very short match with just about 2 minutes before R-Truth got the roll up here. But what'd you think of this one, Caesar? Pretty short, just kind of
comedic match, almost. It's the fact that R-Truth is like in his 50s and moves like he's our age, just like super impressive. Like, you can't see much other than that. Like, maybe just tell the rest of the locker room to step up their game. But like,
he's just, again, I mean, age aside, his athleticism is phenomenal. If he was 20 years younger, it would still be phenomenal. Like,
yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's like,
and you keep in mind, like, he's back. Like, his last injury, didn't he break his leg?
I don't remember.
Like, when he was out that last time, like, my God, and he's had such a long career. And unless he stopped, he was a cigarette smoker.
I'm gonna guess maybe he did, because I do remember seeing him posting about like hip hop albums and stuff he's doing.
I remember when he that was something they brought up when he was kind of forever, when he was feuding with John Morrison. And John Morrison brought up the fact that he was a cigarette smoker during that. And he lit up a cigarette live in an arena in London, which the crowd chanted, "That's illegal," when he did that, because you cannot smoke in indoor areas.
It is everywhere now at this point.
Yeah, actually, though, R-Truth could legally get away with that for the same reason you could during a stage production in the theater. If you are smoking as part of the performance, then it gets around the laws prohibiting it in most places. So, like in high school, no joke, the only reason we didn't use real cigarettes during a play I did in high school was because we were minors. You know what I mean? That was the only reason. Yeah, it came up. We were that close to doing it.
Speaking of that reminds me when I was in high school, actually, I did drama class too, and we had to do a production, and coincidentally, I got the role of a doctor. And here's the kicker. I had super long ass hair, like I do now. And at the time, my teacher wanted us to do something with my hair. So what they do, they sent like 3 girls to like the Walmart, maybe, or like the dollar store, and they bought a whole boatload of hair gel, hoping it would hold my hair back. That was a suicide mission. Well, it did the job, but like not enough. So,
oh goodness.
Hey, look who's back.
Welcome back, John. Welcome back. But, John, before we move on to the next backstage segment, anything on R-Truth and Pete Dunne?
R-Truth rolled up Pete Dunne in 3 minutes. Remember when Pete Dunne got his name back and it looked like we were going to do something?
Now they're out.
Now he's just fighting people because they keep using his old name?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Isn't he going to be moving to a producer role in NXT? Wasn't that the word a while ago? Are you heading down there? Oh, no, I think John froze.
Pete Dunne got him.
That's what we get for calling him Butch. He butched our stream.
But
we'll move into the backstage area where we had Braun Breaker getting interviewed, and this was a short-lived interview. He was very quickly interrupted by Ludwig Kaiser, who was vying for a title shot. Breaker said he'll talk to Pierce about a chance to beat him again. But he told him that he needs to. What was it? He said he needs to get out from underneath Gunther's shadow.
Yeah, he did
as quickly as possible.
He did say that. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, so you don't think there's any chance of Ludwig Kaiser beating Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship?
No.
Okay.
Like if they do, it's because they're going to try and put the belt on Braun, like the main belt. But no, I don't see it.
No. All right. So staying in the backstage region, we had Sami Zayn asking Adam Pearce what happened to Jay. And he said, hey, they're still trying to figure that out. They don't even know if he's injured or not. He's in the training room getting looked over. We don't know who attacked him. And Pearce asked Sami, who do you think did it? Sami says he thinks he has an idea who did it. He's about to go out to that ring and beat his ass.
Yeah, ass.
But before that match took place, we did have Adam Pearce again being shown speaking on his phone, telling someone to make it official because they're on the same page. Balor walked up and he wanted to know when and where his title match was going to be. And so it's going to happen at Saturday night's main event. But he said next week they're going to talk about Finn's other title match. He said it typically takes an act of Congress to get them to defend those tag team titles. So, Caesar, what do you think? Do you think they're going to have Judgment Day defending the tag titles next week? Or do you think they're going to have to make Finn defend on Saturday night's main event, making him work twice in one night?
Maybe twice in one night?
Way to play a little screw over the heel kind of thing. But then that's just going to make Gunther mad. Because Gunther's really looking for that clean victory. That's not really a clean victory if the guy you're wrestling had to wrestle earlier that night.
Let's put it this way. If they drop the tag belts next week, I'm thinking that it's going to be an intense match at Saturday night main event with Finn and Gunther. That's what I'm thinking.
I think that Finn and Gunther will put on a great match.
I don't think he's going to win.
Oh gosh, no. Yeah, I think Gunther, as we said earlier, I think Gunther's going to hang on to that belt for a while. And John sold me on it. I would love for that trajectory to be him and Cena at Mania, and Cena winning that belt. I'm all for that. All for that.
I don't see why we wouldn't do that. Sounds like the best idea so far.
Yeah, I'm all. That's kind of up in the air still. I think they're going to hug closer to that 3 hours because apparently they're still going to have advertisements for Raw. So I'm sure that Netflix is going to want to make as much money as they possibly can through
the only part that everyone is worried about is like the whole buffering situation and connectivity.
They have Christmas Day to prove themselves because I believe they have an NFL game that they're broadcasting on Christmas. So that should have more live viewers tuning in to watch it than Raw will probably get.
I don't know. Like you said, Christmas Day is the game.
Yeah, the NFL game is on Christmas Day. So everybody's going to be around their TVs. It's an NFL game, which NFL Monday Night Football typically would draw better ratings than Raw anyway. But that's in large virtue because it's on free television. Well, Raw, on cable.
Because as my background. Boxing Day is always the start of the World Juniors in hockey. Mm-hmm. So definitely not a good idea to play it on the 26th.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be on Christmas Day there, but it'll be. They do need to fix the issues that they had. I did not watch the Tyson fight, but
how could you?
I guess a lot of people didn't, right?
I got me personally. I had one buffering issue on that fight. And that was during the introductions of the Tyson Paul fight. That's it.
Which, hey, sounds like you got a flight on that one. But,
right?
As far as the 2 to 3 hour thing, I think they're going to play it a little bit by ear. I don't think it's going to be a hard 3 hours or a hard 2 hours. I think, and this is my hope anyway, but I think what they're going to do is play it by ear. If you need a 2 hour and 30-minute show, do a 2 hour and 30-minute show that week. If you only need to be 2 hours and 18 minutes, only go 2 hours and 18 minutes. You don't need to artificially make it 3 hours if you don't have 3 hours of story to tell. And vice versa, if you have more than 2 hours of story to tell, you don't have to cram it into just the 2 tight hours. So I'm hoping that they have a little bit of variable there. And Caesar, it's like you said at the top of the show with the the 15-minute main event where you know it's going to end at 11 o'clock. So as that clock's ticking, 10:58, 10:59, it's going to be over right then. Moving into the Netflix era, you're not going to know exactly when the match is going to end. And I like that a lot more, especially for old-ass wrestling fans like us who have gotten a little bit jaded. Anything that can help get that suspension of disbelief taken away there or removed I'm all for that.
What bugs me is I was telling a friend of mine the other day, it's like, look at Raw, look at SmackDown. You can barely sit through those. Look at NXT and AEW. I can sit through those like nothing. Mm-hmm. So what the hell are those two doing that Raw and SmackDown can't do? Because, what is it, ECW episode? The first match off the card, I watched it, Lola Vice and Jada Parker. and I thought that was insane. I looked at the clock; it was like 20 after the hour, and I'm like, these two girls just put on a sick match in 20 minutes.
Well, and it's interesting that you bring up NXT on that because they lost their overrun when they made the move to the CW, but I haven't felt the same consternation towards NXT with that hard, 2-hour out that I have with Raw. For some reason, NXT just has a much better grasp on that 2-hour format.
That's what I'm saying, and like when it's over, you're like, oh shit, like get your watch.
Hunter couldn't have called Sean. Just be like, hey, like what's your your storyboarding for NXT? Well, what do you do to get this 2 hours to work this well? And then just follow that for a few months until you get moved to Netflix.
Maybe less shitty commercials, less matches that super long.
How many commercials did that main event have?
Too many.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, there's certain people's matches that just they treat it like this still the 3 hour format. So it feels like they're like super laggy on like the fights, whereas NXT it's always go go go.
And you don't get the picture in picture.
No.
Yeah, see, that's the only saving grace here is at least we get the picture in picture.
And then on top of that, for us, I think it was the Sami Zayn match. There was times where all of a sudden it was just like you just saw Sami with his arms in the air, and then commercial, audio cut, commercial. That's it. Wasn't even tell you what's going on, and I was like, "Can't help us out at all." Thanks. Screw you, I guess, right?
But that is Monday Night Raw in a nutshell. There. Before we hop into the jobbers and megastars of the night, Caesar, anything else that we didn't touch on that you wanted to discuss that happened on tonight's show?
I guess the one thing I want to say is I know you and John got pretty deep into it, so I'll kind of chime in a little bit late, but. Watching Liv trying to shit kick Rhea is like watching a little sister try and scrap an older brother. Like, as weird as the analogy is, it's like Liv, I swear, is only there as a paper champion, one that looks good with 2 belts on her. That's it. Sort of like a Mercedes Moné. And I'm sorry, but Rhea, yeah, Rhea, Raquel, Lyra. There's a handful of women I can name. If I really thought about it, and Liv just seems like a woman who's just carrying the belt as a prop.
Well, and the belt was really just a piece of her feud with Rhea.
I'm saying it sucks. Yeah,
it made sense in the context with WWE, but now we've talked about how the Rhea Liv thing has ran its course. It's done. So that might mean it's time to get that belt off of Liv and onto somebody else.
It bugs me because there's so many other women that deserve the belt, and there's Liv who's parading around with it, and they're going, "Oh, you're champ? Oh."
Well, and that's part of the another part of the reason for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I mean, they even said it last week in the promo that Pierce cut about it. It's a workhorse title, So I imagine that once that championship is around the waist of Lyra Valkyria, that she's going to be defending it on a very, very regular basis.
That's and again, not to toot my own horn, but
toot toot.
That's on Dynamite. Mercedes has 2 belts: New Japan Open Strong Women's Belt and the TBS. Mm-hmm. They're both open challenge belts. She spends time defending them. Never. So I'm like, what's the point of calling them open challenge belts if they're never defended? But I don't know. We could save for an hour discussing all these things, but
you'll have to tweet her that and ask her.
Oh, I've tweeted her and she hasn't blocked me yet, so we're doing
blocked you yet. Okay, all right, right on.
Just carrying
Cross. He's the only one that's done it. But that is going to take us into our Monday Night Raw jobbers of the night tonight for the 2nd of December 2024. Caesar, my good Canadian sir, who do you have in your jobber slot this evening?
I might get a bit of flack for this one. I'm going to say Finn.
Ooh.
Why? Okay. I know is the question. Look at how he's been being portrayed. He's just a guy who's taking lip from a girl who both of them try to claim to be the leader, but neither of them the leader. And then he's carrying around a belt that the internet is making fun of. And he's getting attitude from a guy who just babbles in the background and walks around with a cute blonde. Like, I'm sorry. And then now I think Joey T is calling his move the proper name, the coup de grace. Would that take like a year or 6 to get it right? So
Hey, that's not his fault. That is 100% Michael Cole's fault.
no, I'm saying it's good that Joey T's doing it right.
Well, yeah,
Props to
no,
him.
I'm saying him saying Gross is probably Michael Cole's fault because Michael Cole still says coup de grace every single time.
No, but tonight though he actually said gras, which I'm super stoked for. So the question is, who's your jobber?
Yeah. So we kind of got into this a little bit, but for me tonight, it's Liv.
Ooh.
I'm over the angle. Like, and really, I think part of it is I'm just kind of done with the Judgment Day concept. Like, all the Rhea and Liv feud, the Judgment Day segments, they all just feel past their expiration at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you were saying, you're like Liv, she's just holding a prop with that belt, and
it kills the lineage too.
which isn't super duper strong to begin with. Like they've only recently, within the last few years, really gotten their women's division back onto a really good track here. Yeah, they just need to get that belt off of Liv and onto somebody else. And I don't even want to sit here and say that Liv isn't doing like decent work here. It's just it's stale at this point. The act is stale. And they're probably going to keep that belt on her until the inevitable Shawn Michaels Diesel turn happens with Raquel, and then Raquel will probably take the belt off of her.
If Raquel takes it, sweet, but
yeah, somebody needs to though. But it needs to happen sooner rather than later. And I feel like they're going to drag this out for at least a few more months.
Don't give us the Mania match with Liv and somebody. We don't. I know one everyone's saying is like Rhea and Bianca. I don't even want that either.
I don't know.
It's. Yeah. I don't even know. Hunter, fix your shit. That's all I got.
Again, give Sean a call. He knows how to book a women's division very, very, very well.
Not even just the women's division. It's just the damn show.
It's true.
Like it's so bad, but it's true.
They've got that 2-hour format on NXT just down packed.
There's people I've never even heard of on NXT that I see there, and then I'm like, end of the match, I'm like, yo, I'm down with this person.
Which means they're doing their job, man. That's
the
what
scary part. Why can't Maine do that with their current stars?
I really do think that Saturday night's main event's coming up. I felt like we were just coasting up until Survivor Series. Really, it did suck. It did. Like Raw the last month, like we said, has been basically the same program every single week.
A couple of pieces pushed around.
Yeah, but it's like basically been like the same matches, but they'll like shuffle who's in the tags. And tonight was fresh. And I appreciate that. I feel like the coasting is done, and we're going to keep picking up steam as we get towards the Netflix era. But that is going to take us from the jobber of the night to the
megastar,
the Raw megastar of the night. Okay, well, it's either usually if I went last with the jobber, you let me go first with this. So I'm going to say it's New Day for me tonight.
Yeah.
I was surprised that both Kofi and Xavier Woods appear to be going the heel route here together and unified in their seemingly hatred of Big E, and they're blaming him for going away. So what? You broke your neck.
I'm sorry, but like these two look like those kids in your class that are like, we hate you all. And they're like, why do you hate us? And like, because you're stupid. And you're like, oh. Like Biggie's like, you stupid idiots.
And it'll be interesting to see if they do have involvement from Big E going forward and what kind of involvement it is, because this does kind of feel like them accepting in a way that he's probably not going to get cleared. And if it is, it's not going to be anytime soon. And if it does happen, it's still a big decision to make if you want to come back. Like, every wrestler that comes back from a neck injury, especially a broken neck, they talk about how that's a very weighted decision to come back or not.
Here's the logic I have, and if it turns out this is true, then sweet. If it's wrong, then whatever. What if for all we know, Biggie is cleared and they're just like trying to get stuff set up first before they pull the trigger?
Hey, I'd love that. But that would be fantastic.
Because he seemed like he was
That's the
able
kind
to
of sport I can
human.
get behind.
Yeah, he seemed like he was able to human and just walk into the ring and doing that. So that's good.
Well,
Like I
and
said,
he was all choked up during that promo. Like he was, his voice was cracking. He played emotional very, very well here.
yeah, exactly. So that's my point is like I said, he literally, like, for all we know, he could have been cleared for like 3 months now, but they're not gonna throw him in. They're gonna like build up to something first and then go, okay, now we're gonna bring him back and do insert project here.
Right.
So
Hey, I'd love to see it happen that way. I really would.
I mean, I got a feeling that it's gonna be some big like face moment where like he clocks one of the guys and goes, "Oh, by the way, I've been cleared for a month."
Right.
Like that. And then he goes, "I'll see you at insert show or pay-per-view." So now, my megastar is kind of just a sweet, short and sweet version, and it didn't take much thinking because of how it turned out. But let's just say it was a bit of a claymore to the face of a decision. That's Drew McIntyre coming back. I was so happy that he came back, how he came back, and he didn't just show up and like, I'm here. Like he came back with authority. So I am super excited to see what goes on. Please keep him away from Punk, for the love of all things holy.
Yes, yeah, I agree with you on that, and I think they will. I think his issues with Punk have been widely resolved. Their bracelet feud is over. And yeah, like Drew had been off television for enough time that I didn't even have him on my mental radar, honestly. At this
You know
point.
why, right?
Why is that?
Family Things is the short version.
That's where he's been.
Yeah. I believe I think he went back all the way back home to do some stuff with family for a bit, so they gave him time off.
Okay, I thought it might have had something to do with the staples in his head too.
Well, I mean, probably that too, but the one I did hear the most about was that he was spending some time with family for reasons.
Okay. Hey, and it's good that they're much more accommodating for those sorts of things nowadays than they used to be.
I'm no expert in this kind of stuff, but flying from like the U.S. to Scotland's not exactly an everyday experience. You can't just crack out a credit card and go, boom, we're going. So
yeah,
probably a few $1,000s to get across the ocean, but that's just how things are.
I would imagine so. But that's our jobbers and megastars tonight. Before we get into closing procedures, Caesar, anything else you wanted to discuss?
All I'm going to say is I'm looking forward to next week if they're doing this stuff and this whole new, dare I say, aura of whatever's going on. But yeah, that's my take on it. I'll be looking forward to it and hanging out and talking with you and John. And
y'all, firstly, I want to thank everyone that tuned in live with us tonight and watches us every week. And if you've enjoyed what you saw here tonight, I've got some pretty good news for you.
What's that?
Well, we're not here just to break down and cover Monday Night Raw.
Yeet.
I mean, obviously, we are here every Monday night. We're also here Tuesday nights breaking down NXT. Yeah, that's right. Wednesday nights, you know what that means. It's AEW Dynamite. On Thursday nights, we've got TNA Impact. And, of course, Fridays is Smack Sound. And hey, you know what?
John show.
And if y'all are up super duper late on Wednesday nights, you should check out the DSR flagship program, Caesar.
Those guys look familiar.
They sure do. But they're live every Wednesday night into the early morning hours. If you're like me, just check it out on Thursday morning. It'll be there for you.
On the drive to work and at work.
On the drive to work, at work, after work, all the
during
time.
Your shift.
During the shift. On Sundays, we've got the 3NT podcast with the sharpest graphic in all professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ and I are still working on getting our stuff together. But Caesar, tell the folks where they can find you.
Well, guys, as always, I'm hanging out with this gentleman and Monday Night Molly every Monday night, and John and CJ talking Monday Night Raw. And as always, on the Wednesday with the AEW crew of Neek Dynamite, Robbie, and John and myself sitting down, And if you're looking to talk smack with me on the interwebs, my social is right there at NoobTube. I'll be on AG Talk on the Twitters mainly about wrestling, so if you want to hit me up there, go for it. But enough about my shenanigans. Tyler, how can we talk to you away from the show?
Hey, so I am on Twitter and Instagram at PW Hempster, but I don't do a whole lot there. So if you want to find me on the social medias, check me out at The Pro Wrestling Hempster over on Facebook, only after you have followed Dirt Sheet Radio on Facebook and all other social media outlets. But and you can find me here Monday nights with Caesar and John
And Molly.
Tuesday nights, and Molly, of course. And on Tuesday nights, breaking down NXT. And yeah, guys, that'll do it for us tonight. Thank you all for tuning in live. We'll be back tomorrow for NXT.
Yeet.
Yeet.